Yeah, ever been on like a fishing boat miles from shore and wondered how they keep all that fish fresh?
Right.
I'm talking tons of seafood, potentially worth a fortune, all at the mercy of the elements.
Yeah.
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not magic, it's the unsung heroes of the seafood supply chain,
Uh-huh.
fisheries refrigeration engineers.
That's right. And forget about like someone just fixing a leaky fridge.
Right.
We're talking high stakes engineering, battling breakdowns in the middle of the ocean
Yeah.
to prevent massive financial loss
Right.
and food waste.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about pressure.
Yeah.
To really unpack this wild job, we're diving into some awesome resources
Okay.
from RoleCatcher,
Okay.
a career development platform.
Got it.
That's like a cheat code for anyone looking to navigate this unique field.
Right.
I've got this in-depth career guide that goes way beyond the surface, giving us a glimpse into what it really takes to thrive as a fisheries refrigeration engineer.
What's fascinating here is how RoleCatcher not only like breaks down the job responsibilities, but also highlights the often overlooked skills
Yeah.
that set someone up for success in this demanding environment.
Right.
Because let's face it, it's not your typical 9 to 5.
No.
Imagine the clanging of machinery, the smell of salt and engine grease, the constant rocking of the boat.
Okay, now you're painting a picture.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a sense of just how challenging this job can be.
Yeah.
It's not just about fixing things.
Right.
It's about doing it in cramped, often chaotic conditions.
Exactly. RoleCatcher really emphasizes those challenging conditions. Cramped engine rooms, rough seas, long hours. Being away from home for extended periods, it takes a special kind of person to thrive in that environment.
So it sounds like you need a strong stomach and a good pair of sea legs just to show up.
Yeah.
But what about the actual work itself?
Right?
What does a typical day look like for a fisheries refrigeration engineer, according to RoleCatcher?
Well, as you can imagine, it's a lot more than just fixing fridges.
Right.
They're responsible for everything from inspecting and troubleshooting equipment to conducting routine maintenance, like cleaning, lubricating, ensuring all systems are running smoothly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But here's a curveball. RoleCatcher mentions paperwork.
Right.
At sea.
Yes.
I never would have pictured that being part of the job.
Right. It's one of those unexpected aspects that RoleCatcher highlights.
Okay.
And it's not just about, ticking boxes. It's about meticulous record keeping, tracking refrigeration temperatures, monitoring catch freshness, ensuring compliance with regulations.
Wow. So they're not just mechanics.
Right.
They're data analysts, too. I'm starting to realize just how multifaceted this role really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that actually speaks to one of the key takeaways from RoleCatcher's analysis,
Okay.
the importance of adaptability. Because things change rapidly at sea. A fisheries refrigeration engineer needs to think on their feet, adjust to new situations,
Right.
and often come up with creative solutions with limited resources.
It's like that old saying, necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Right.
You're in a contained environment miles from help. So resourcefulness is key. What other surprising skills does RoleCatcher emphasize?
Well, you'd assume technical expertise is a given,
Right.
and it absolutely is. But RoleCatcher also puts a spotlight on some unexpected skills,
Okay.
like critical thinking and communication.
Okay.
They emphasize that being able to quickly diagnose problems under pressure,
Yeah.
often with limited information, is absolutely essential.
That makes a lot of sense when you think about the environment.
Yeah.
You can't exactly Google a solution when you're in the middle of the ocean.
Precisely.
Right.
And good communication is also crucial.
Uh-huh.
RoleCatcher points out that these engineers often have to work closely with other crew members, sometimes in high-stress situations. Being able to clearly explain complex technical issues and work effectively as part of a team is crucial.
It's like being part mechanic, part detective, part diplomat, all rolled into one.
Right.
You've got to have the technical chops, the problem-solving skills,
Yeah.
and the ability to wrangle a team under pressure.
Totally.
What does RoleCatcher say about how someone even breaks into this line of work? Is it all about hands-on experience, or is formal education important too?
Interestingly, they highlight an example of an entry-level engineer in their career stage breakdown who had a mechanical engineering degree,
Okay.
but also backed it up with internships to gain practical experience.
So a bit of both.
Yeah,
The textbook knowledge and the real-world know-how.
exactly.
Got it.
It seems like a combination of education and hands-on training is key.
Okay.
They also emphasize the need for continuous learning in this field
Right.
to stay ahead of new technologies and changing regulations.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Speaking of technology.
I was really curious to see what RoleCatcher had to say about how AI and automation might be impacting this field.
Right.
After all, it seems like even something as hands-on as fisheries would be touched by these advancements.
Right. You'd think with all the talk about robots taking over,
Mm.
they'd be eyeing up those engine rooms.
It's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
While they don't go into detail about AI's impact on the refrigeration systems themselves,
Okay.
they do highlight their own platform's AI-powered tools, which is a pretty clever way of showcasing how technology is changing the job hunting landscape,
Right.
even for fisheries refrigeration engineers.
Okay, now that's meta.
Right.
So they're using AI to help people get jobs that might someday be done by AI.
Precisely.
Wow.
It's a fascinating glimpse into the future.
It is.
Specifically, they talk about their CV analysis tool,
Okay.
which helps tailor your application to the specific job requirements,
Right.
and their interview prep resources with tons of practice questions,
Yeah.
all powered by AI.
It's like having a digital career coach in your back pocket.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about career progression.
Okay.
Once you've paid your dues as a fisheries refrigeration engineer, what does the path forward look like? Is it a straight line, or are there interesting detours along the way?
RoleCatcher provides a really interesting breakdown of career stages,
Okay.
and it's not as straightforward as you might think.
Okay.
As you gain experience, you naturally take on more responsibility,
Right.
eventually supervising others and managing more complex projects.
So starting as maybe a junior engineer,
Right.
assisting the more experienced folks,
Yeah.
then working your way up to a leadership position.
Exactly.
Got it.
They give the example of an entry-level engineer whose responsibilities include assisting senior engineers with maintenance and repairs,
Okay.
getting familiar with the machinery, doing basic troubleshooting.
Right.
It's all about building a solid foundation.
Makes sense. You can't exactly call up a repair person when you're in the middle of the ocean.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
But what about those who are looking for something beyond just climbing the ladder?
Yeah,
Does RoleCatcher mention any alternative paths?
they do.
Okay.
They highlight that. As you progress,
Uh-huh.
you could take on more senior roles within the fishing industry itself, like
Oh,
fleet management,
Right.
or even move into related fields like marine engineering
Okay.
or refrigeration system design and installation.
So you could go from fixing systems at sea to designing the next generation of those systems on land.
Right.
That's a pretty cool career trajectory.
It is.
Yeah.
And throughout all of this, RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of continuous learning,
Right.
whether it's taking specialized courses on refrigeration systems,
Okay.
staying up to date on the latest tech advancements, or attending industry events.
Sure.
It all contributes to upward mobility,
Makes sense.
but even beyond the individual career path.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what RoleCatcher has to say about the bigger picture.
Okay.
What's the overall job outlook for fisheries refrigeration engineers?
Yeah, that's a good question.
With concerns about overfishing and the environmental impact of the fishing industry,
Right.
it seems like this role could play an important part in responsible seafood consumption.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Let's dive into that and see what else we can uncover about the future of this fascinating field after a quick break. You know, when you think about it, the work these engineers do has a direct impact on, like, how much of the ocean's bounty actually makes to our plates.
Yeah.
It's a sustainability angle I hadn't really considered before.
It's a really important point, and one that RoleCatcher subtly emphasizes. They point out that by keeping those refrigeration systems running smoothly,
Yeah.
these engineers play a critical role in preventing spoilage, which is huge when we're talking about responsible seafood consumption. Every fish saved from going bad is a win for sustainability.
Absolutely. So it's not just about the technical skills.
Right, yeah.
It's about understanding how their work fits into the bigger picture of a changing world.
Right.
Did RoleCatcher give any other hints about the future of this field?
They did touch on some interesting trends.
Okay.
They mentioned how advancements in refrigeration technology, especially more energy-efficient systems, are likely to shape the field moving forward.
Right.
And then there's the looming presence of automation,
Right.
though they don't delve into specifics.
Okay, so we're back to those robots again.
Right.
It makes you wonder if AI can help design more efficient systems.
Right.
Could it eventually take over the hands-on work, too?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
We've talked about the unique blend of skills these engineers need, the critical thinking,
Uh-huh.
the problem solving on the fly,
Yeah.
the communication and teamwork.
Right.
Those are some pretty high bars for AI to clear.
You're right. It's not just about turning wrenches.
Right.
It's about human ingenuity and adaptability, something AI hasn't quite mastered yet.
Exactly. And that brings up a fascinating dilemma for the future. How do we balance the integration of these advanced technologies with the irreplaceable human element of this job?
It's a tightrope walk for sure. But, this deep dive has given me a newfound appreciation for the people behind the scenes who keep things running.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the AI hype, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's still people who are out there on those boats,
Yeah.
facing unpredictable challenges head on.
Couldn't agree more. It's a powerful reminder that no matter how advanced technology gets,
Right.
there will always be a need for skilled professionals who can bridge the gap between the digital and the physical, the theoretical and the practical.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who's ever enjoyed a perfectly chilled piece of fish, remember to thank a fisheries refrigeration engineer.
Right.
They're the unsung heroes battling the elements, mechanical mayhem, and maybe someday even robots to keep that seafood coming.
And who knows, maybe someone listening to this will be the one designing those robots or writing the code that powers them. The future is unwritten, but it's going to be a fascinating journey.
That's a perfect note to end on. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. Who knows what depths we'll dive into next?